Warning.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio. 7 Mile Radio.
Do. And we are back.
I'm about to say, is that your intro, your self-made intro music here that you did, that you just hooked up for the show?
Yes, we are back. Hello, Amanda. Thanks for coming back. Welcome back to the Have Marci on Us podcast talk show. Thank you all for tuning in again today at 8ish. We are back every Monday as promised. And
as y'all see, the network has been... Everybody's been late on the network today. Kind of pushed the whole day back. One show late, it make everybody late. That's just kind of, we got shows back to back to back to back to back. So
you're gonna have to Ike Turner everybody.
I mean, that's what I'm trying. You know what I mean? I'm trying. I'm trying to Ike Turner without the Turner.
Gotta crack the whip
without the Ike.
I'm saying
trying to Turner without the Ike.
Fine him. $5 fine.
Late fee.
Yeah, that's what Ike Turner. He was like, fine your ass.
So see, I got a whole nother system that I'm about to implement for the new year for the show. So it'll help.
Oh, okay. I can't wait.
Us podcasters greatly appreciate this platform that Mark has for us.
And
Can we
I
give you a round
y'all.
of applause? Just press a round of applause for yourself, please.
Okay. Thank you, Marci. Thank you. I appreciate it. I put in a lot of work here.
We really do appreciate it. And the listeners, I actually see what the listeners say in the comments and how some of the messages they send. People are grateful for a homegrown, grassroots Detroit Black network that is giving us a platform. All different types of people a platform, and
Well, I'm as they used to say in the old school hip hop days, damn, it feel good to see people up on it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we're gonna look at the silver lining on the our tardiness. Mark is busy.
Yeah, I was.
Mark
I
has,
was gonna say.
He's
I'm not
been
gonna
busy.
throw y'all under the bus like it's all y'all. You
No,
know?
I mean busy in a good way. Busy
Yeah,
like
most
in
definitely.
business way, like
Yeah,
for sure. And we have Ricky back.
I am back for what week in a row?
I think maybe the fourth.
Third, fourth, maybe something.
Fourth. Yes, I lost count, but I'm grateful that you're here, and I'm glad you spend your Monday evenings with me. I'm glad you all spend your Monday evenings with me. If you all would, please just let us know where you are listening from in the comments so we can see how far we're reaching. You all saw the topic, the title of today's show. It's called what, Ricky?
Gun flaws.
And before we get to all that, because we all know it's a mouthful, how was your weekend?
My weekend was amazing. I got to spend it with a couple of friends, helping them out with some projects around their businesses.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I watched an episode of Power.
Okay.
Part 2 or Power, whatever. Tariq Power.
The new season.
Yeah, the new season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. It's entertaining.
It's very entertaining. Like, great writers. I'd say great writers. Yeah.
How were the kids last week at school?
Last week? Oh. Okay, so I had a situation where we had a few cases that were positive, and because of social distancing rules, I had to basically excuse a whole class full of kids.
One whole class, or like a class full? A class.
It would be a class full, like about 35, 40 kids had to go home because of
from different
close
grades.
Contacts. Yep, different grades.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was very stressful. Calling all the parents and dealing with the stress of the parents because, as I state all the time, it's a difficult system to work with because you have, you got to keep your kid at home, but you also have, you have to go to work to make money. Other nations have definitely picked up on it and said, if you ain't going to be home or you ain't going to be at work, we're going to give you money. But the United States, for some reason, it's like, we're going to give y'all $1,400 or we're going to give y'all $2,000 and we're going to see what you're going to do with that. And it's really messed up.
Yeah, because a lot of systems are in place for that to be the most efficient spending anyway. A lot of us need that for other stuff. Needed it anyway. Ben needed that 2 racks. Ben needed that 1,200. So, well, my weekend was pretty good. I did. Of course, I'm down at the arena. There was an Andre Bocelli concert.
Who is that?
He's a singer, an opera singer.
Did you enjoy it?
From what I heard, because I was outside of the arena, kind of like in the hallway, serving liquor and wine and martinis,
okay,
old fashions. Yeah, from what I heard, it was pretty good. And I had to let my coworkers know that they were among a singer also.
Oh, did you blow?
I had to blow a little bit. I had to let them hear it a little bit, but that's cool. Now they know.
How did you do?
I did well.
Okay, did Andre come up and like, scoop you up and say,
He almost said, her, that bartender over there, I heard her from on stage. I need her to come down here and finish.
He almost said it.
He almost said it. Well,
That's good.
I heard that he almost said it. Somebody said that he almost said it. But anyway.
Okay.
Anyway, another very interesting thing that happened this weekend. Mind you all, I'm in Facebook jail. All kind of crazy stuff is happening. The Lions won.
Oh, that's not crazy. That was going to happen anyway.
Okay. Because we're winners. Right?
No, because the Lions can't have another losing season like back in the day. And actually, it wouldn't have been a losing season because they had a draw.
Can y'all tell me what happened?
Did you know that, fun fact, it was actually almost 1 year to the day that the last time the Lions won a football game.
Yeah, somebody said 364, 363 days or 364 days. Since the last time we had
I believe it was the 16th of December last year. I believe the game was that they won.
I mean, at least they're consistent for sure.
What did they... I didn't watch the game, but what would y'all say happened that much differently to where... Or it's just they completed. They closed it. They usually have a problem closing the games out. It seems like this time they knew how to close it. Or was it luck? I didn't see the end.
It's never luck with football. It's literally a game of inches. It's literally skill and talent mixed up together.
So we did it. We did it, guys.
We did it.
We did it, Detroit.
I think they're going to go all the way this year for sure. Just off of that. Did you go to the parade today?
All the way. They have a... What do you mean?
We had a parade on Grand River. And
because we won?
Yeah, we had a parade. It was like stray dogs and stray cats. It's just in Lions gear. That button's gonna break tonight.
The thing is, it's crazy because somebody really asked me, so where's the parade? What about the parade? So I believed you.
No.
So we need a parade, and Lions deserve a parade.
Yeah, for sure.
Go Motor City Kitties. Okay?
No, don't do that.
Okay, so this week, y'all, I decided to put y'all up on game, which y'all need to be putting on. It's gonna be a little chilly. Tomorrow it's gonna be 28.
28 degrees?
28 degrees.
I might have to make a Walmart trip tonight.
And Ricky did not wear a coat today.
I don't wear coats. I have not worn coats for years.
I don't agree with it, and I have a problem with it. We'll unpack that later.
I'm a polar bear. I don't need no coat.
Well, it's gonna be almost 40 by Thursday, and Friday it's gonna be summertime. 54 degrees.
54 degrees.
Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna bake up a sweat.
And that means I need to order that bikini that I've always been waiting on, that I've always been wanting to wear. And then I'll take it to the beach on Saturday. It's going to be 63.
We need to watch out. Like, 'cause it is not going to be 63 in Detroit.
And raining on Saturday. This is what I
63 degrees.
And raining, so it's not going to be an enjoyable.
This is what
but it's December and it's 63 degrees outside. Y'all see what's happening?
That's
the
global
climate
warming.
is changing. And global warming, right?
Yeah,
So what's
for
going to happen? What's going to end up happening is we're going to end up with the tropical weather up here up north, and the down south is going to end up with our weather. You see how they start to get snow? Even 1 inch of snow, it cripples their shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
Atlanta
And
shuts down.
they didn't used to get snow down there and down south like at all, damn near. You know what I'm saying? Like, so now what's going to happen in watch 15, 20 years, they're going to have 4 inches of snow on the ground, and we're going to have 70-degree January.
Well, I'm not going to be that mad because it's about time we get what we deserve, okay?
No, because
So everybody that moved down to Michigan, moved down to Atlanta and down south Texas
Because they want
for
warmer
the good
weather.
For the good weather, they gonna find a rude awakening when they.
Stuff is shutting down because they got sleep. They got sleep and they can't sleep. But so Sunday is
a
definitely
bar.
gonna, huh?
It's a bar.
You know,
Go
I
ahead.
got some bars. Yeah. So, but Sunday we're gonna be back in reality. It's gonna be back in the 30s. So we're gonna be smack back in reality. No worries. With that being said, I want a Canada Goose coat. I've been seeing a lot of those Canada Goose coats. Have you seen
Why
them?
don't you just go ahead and get a Montclair? We know you got the money.
That means you don't know.
Like-
That means you don't know anything.
3 racks, 2-3 racks. You got it.
The Canada Goose is about half the price. So but I'm just wondering. I've seen a lot of them. But I'm wondering, like, are they getting like legit offline, or because I've seen some fake ones, but I didn't realize it was gonna be that they were gonna be that much more popular this year. Maybe because we're close to Canada too. I mean, working at the arena, I see a lot of people with it on, but I like those
I think that's
coats.
just the Michigan thing.
Okay. Speaking of Michigan things, our topic at hand, the gun flaws. As many of us know, Oxford shooting was last week at the high school. Rest in peace to those children and prayers to their families. And I know a lot of us are still pissed off about how and what and the logistics of the whole situation. We know that this young man's parents bought this gun for him, and people are making it that simple, but I know it's much deeper. When you buy your kid a gun, you definitely aiding them in hate. We can all agree that child doesn't need
they was there,
AR.
and then I found out another interesting development about the whole situation. Right, not only were they there 2 hours before the situation happened, but they actually were suggested that they take the boy home from school that day, and they abruptly answered no and left him there. That was like the next thing they did after they was asked to take him home or take him out of school that day. They left.
Because
so now the question is, you know, when the kid was being interviewed that morning by the administration, when he was first initially brought to the office about the drawings, they're wondering if he had the gun in fact in the book bag while he was in the office. You know what I'm saying, talking to the administration. This was the day before. I mean, the day it happened before it happened.
I want to say yeah,
probably so.
I believe he brought the gun. Because what I'm hearing is they have camera footage of him going in the bathroom with a book bag, coming out without it. Like, it's no way that he like had that meeting that morning, and then he went all the way back home, got a gun, and then came back. No, he had that meeting.
Or what, had it stashed in the school already previously?
He probably could have had it stashed in the school. The problem is that he brought a gun to school, period.
There's no point in him going in and out the bathroom with and without the book bag if he wasn't hiding anything.
Yeah.
So there were apparently a few tips about this potentially happening before it happened. There were a few tips. He was on his Snapchat. He did some social media posts that alarmed people, and there were even some children that did not go to school that day because they were in fear of this happening. My mom's question was, well, who did they tell other than their parents? Well, I do believe that they told the principal. The principal was alerted of these things. But when we were in high school, think about this. There were a few bomb threats, but they still made us go to school.
No. Okay, so
it wasn't.
I remember in Cass one time it was a bomb threat, and they cleared out Cass, and like after they did a sweep, we went back into school.
Yeah, stuff like that.
But like, okay, now I did most of my high school career, the last 3 years of my high school career at Murray. We had metal detectors, but we had people with pistols in there.
So that leads me to a little interview I did with my father before I came here. My dad taught at Cody for about 30 years. He coached at Cody. And, well, first question I asked him was, well, how do you feel about the gun laws? You know, he was like, well, how you feel about them doesn't matter because you can't do anything about them because majority of the Senate is banging with the NRA. So, and he said, he remembered a situation when he was at Cody. A kid was running down the stairs. Someone was after him saying, he has a gun, he's behind me, he has a gun. And he said he and another teacher waited for the guy to come downstairs because he was coming right down, and he just grabbed him. So he couldn't grab his gun. The other teacher went in his pocket and just grabbed the gun. And so they took him downstairs. He says he does not recall any school shootings, no actual shootings that went to the school, that happened in the school. And this is in Cody, y'all, back in the 80s, you know, early 90s. Stuff was real rough. He says he confiscated 3 guns, and it's not that he said that was the only situation where the person was after someone, but in other situations the person was actively shooting or was about to shoot, you know. So he said he took 3 guns, but he said that's never actually happened. And can y'all, with the stigma that Detroit public schools get, we've never had this kind of situation.
I'm gonna tell you why we don't have.
And I feel like that's the reason why they're trying to conveniently find a way to spin this shit into a connection to Detroit.
Yeah.
First, it was a whole, it happened at a suburban Detroit school. Something, this motherfucking place is an hour away. It takes the same amount of time to get to this city. as it is to Ohio.
And you know, we are normally the people that are upset about that. We're like, oh, why are they saying Detroit? I heard this white guy downtown. He was watching on the news. He was like, why are they saying Detroit?
Oh, because
it's not Detroit.
He has property here. He can't have a property value going.
Exactly. See, exactly. He has a vested interest. So now it makes sense to him. It matters to him. Now that they have a vested interest here. Now that they have a vested interest here, because it's never happened in Detroit. We've had fights outside of school. We've had shootings outside the school. But we've never had, especially mass shootings that occurred in death.
And I'm gonna tell you why we did.
EPS.
Most kids who brought guns to school in Detroit public schools, we didn't bring guns to shoot anybody. We brought guns to get back and forth to school. Like that's why we brought weapons. Or not we, but that's why. That's why. Don't incriminate yourself. No, but that's why weapons were brought. It was to get back and forth to school. Like we had to take the same bus that Cass had to take. It's stories about people going back and forth fighting at the bus stops.
And I've seen them. We've seen it.
Yeah. So it's like it's not. Oh, I'm gonna shoot up the school. Like if we got to fight, we got to fight. We would have a parent, a brother, something like that come up to school. We're not shooting up the school. Now Murray Wright does.
And you'll deal with that person that you have an issue with.
Yeah, we'll deal with that person. We're not like everybody gets bullied. Everybody gets bullied. From the top jocks to the anybody. Everybody has the capacity to get bullied.
It is a part of life.
Speaking of top jocks, right? The jock.
Oh man.
Yeah. They got killed. He was allegedly one of the ones who was antagonizing the boy and causing him to. But now they're making him out, what you was about to say, to be the hero. Like he's charged towards.
They tried to stop him or something.
They're writing him off to be the hero. But
no matter what he said to that young man, you don't have the right to kill someone
at all. I'm not saying that that's plausible. But what I'm saying is, when y'all was talking about the root of why this happens in suburban schools versus schools in the city, is another reason is that I believe that the kids are more emotionally able to handle the bullying, as you say, as it's called,
in the city.
Criticism in the city, because we grow up playing the dozens.
It's our culture. It's our
number
culture.
one, and then just our households, right? We're not brought up as privileged.
AT-Baz.
We're not brought up as privileged as they may be, to where they get out in a real world environment situation as a child, and they ain't mentally able to handle themselves in society.
You getting stung in your house
with cruel kids.
They stinging you in the house.
In the black family, we our parents sometimes playing with us, roasting us. Like sometimes, like in our culture, like we kind of do that to help build our children's mental toughness up.
I was called fat by my cousins and older relatives before. Probably, but maybe before.
And sometimes as jokes, you know what I'm saying? Hearing it from people that that loves you and shit in a joking way, it prepares you mentally to hear like shit, like, shut
somebody gonna say, somebody else might say that to you.
Yeah. And that's what it does. You know what I mean? It mentally prepares you. And I mean, even with me, we were talking about this on another show. It's like when someone says something, no matter, I feel like if someone says something about you that's the truth, or even if it's not the truth, there's really no reason for you to get mad at it. Right? If somebody said, Mark smoke every time he on the air, but he really smoke crack and shit, right? And I'll be like, why would I get mad at that? For me to get mad at this, I ain't no crackhead, and now it make me look like I am.
Why react to? Why join the circus?
Even if it's the truth, right? Somebody get on here and say, this nigga Mark got big ass eyeballs and shit, like a damn a fish and shit. Why would I get mad? Motherfucker, I do. So it's like it doesn't matter. Like you're giving them the power of controlling you when you react to the shit.
You give them the power to control you, and this young man, this little boy, gave people the power to. First of all, I don't want to say all that. I think it's beyond that. You have hate in your heart. Also, it's not just you were bullied. You have some hate in your heart.
But that bullying breeds hate.
Let's see if
they're
that's
not
really
able. But
the
see,
root
they're not
of
able
it.
to. And then that's to go back to the urban school situation. Some kids are not able to handle it in our client.
I got in fights. Yeah, I got in fights.
So and that's not to say making a blanket statement like we're just all around able to handle it, but we are better equipped to handle it. That's why you see it less in our schools as opposed to theirs. You know what I mean? That's my observation.
And if your kid does come to you and say, "Hey, I'm getting bullied at school," is your solution to go and buy him a AR?
Sneak it in the.
So
encourage him to sneak it into the school. Now, do y'all know about the deer head that was found on the premises of the school?
I heard about a deer head, but then actually recently I heard about somebody putting a dog head on another high school. Like Yeah, so it's like that's sick stuff. That's like real mental issue type stuff.
That's how serial killers start off.
Yeah.
They start off killing animals. So and they start desensitizing themselves to seeing death.
Can we branch off to bullying real quick?
Go ahead.
Okay, so over the last 5-6 years, we've had like this huge campaign of like, oh, no bullying. And I know I'm gonna get dragged around the yard for this.
I think it's I think
kids should be bullied a little, because we have these situations where people get fired from their job, or their boss is like this, or their coworkers are like this.
Bullying's gonna happen regardless.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, and they be like, oh, no bullying, and it's like, okay, yeah, like I want this kid to toughen up, like, because when that, like, somebody who hasn't been toughened up with bullying as a child, those are the people that shoot up their workplaces because they got fired. They be like, oh, this person never did that and never did that and blah blah blah.
They never been under that kind of stress.
Under that kind of pressure. And stress and pressure. Another reason why we don't shoot up schools, we got a whole bunch of different shit to worry about.
A lot of stress and pressure already.
Yeah, like we got to worry about.
Like we come out the womb into the world under stress and pressure.
Like literally under stress.
And again, not
pressure.
like that. And that goes back to what I'm saying about us playing the dozens. Like we put ourselves under that sometimes. It's almost like a preparation. You know what I mean?
A defense mechanism.
And it's honestly, it's kind of like a love language, roasting each other. It's kind of like a love language between each other.
Between us, yeah. I mean, we have a art of turning a lot of things that were negative for us into things of endearment or positive. You know what I mean? Like the N word, chitlins. You know, women calling each other bitches nowadays. But if we say it, you know what I mean? So it's just like we have our ways of turning things that are negative around and using it for our favor.
I call it, like you said, coping. I call it coping and surviving.
And it's just like our way. Like, okay, like my little brother. I think he's like the greatest man alive. Like nobody can be better than my little brother. That's
what's up.
Shout
out to you, little brother.
We see each other and I be like, punk bitch, and he'd be like, oh, hoe ass bitch. Like we literally call each other that, but nobody can tell us that we don't love each other.
That's y'all's love
language. And they know from the outside looking in, other people would be like, well, damn, like y'all talk to each other, but they don't understand.
Yeah, they don't understand, but then they hang around us and they like, that's his favorite person in the world, and of course, like that's my first best friend. Like we just talk to each other like that.
Very unique love language there. So what languages do you all use when you are actually upset, or is that when you get
Actually, check this out. Me and my brother, we haven't argued in over 15, 16 years. Like we don't get upset at each other. Like we literally are men. We don't yell at each other.
I didn't even know you had a brother. I thought you had all sisters.
No. And I got a little brother up here. I got a little brother down south. Well, he ain't down. He like Kentucky.
Okay.
Yeah, but me and Aunt, my little brother up here, we don't argue. Like we don't fight. Like that's it. Like we had one fight when we were younger. I hit him. He hit me with the refrigerator door, not the whole refrigerator.
I'm about to say, so this little nigga just picked up the whole fridge and just dropped it on.
No, he hit me with the refrigerator door. I was boxing earlier that week and I like pulled a muscle. He hit that leg with the refrigerator door and I hit him. My mom heard it, and we thinking mom's gonna beat our ass. She literally made us sit in the bathroom for hours. Like the small ass bathroom together for hours. From that day on,
get along.
No, just don't talk, don't nothing. Just sit there in the bathroom. From that day on, we never fought.
My friend posted a picture the other day of his 2 children in one of his shirts.
Oh yeah, that one too.
Whenever they get upset with each other, he makes them wear the shirt and they have to get along.
Yeah, but from that day, like nobody can tell me shit about my brother. I love my brother, but I'm gonna call him a bitch all the time.
Amanda said, right, like your mama jokes. Y'all got the same mama.
Whoa.
Y'all making jokes about each other's mom. So, well, back to brothers. Speaking of brothers, me and my dad were talking about, again, the gun situation, and my brother actually shared a situation with me he had when he was an undergrad, where he was at Toledo, and the Toledo football team used to beef with the locals a lot, and they got into it at a bar with the locals, and at some point my brother ends up with a gun to his head, and the guy asked his friend, he was like, I should do it, shouldn't I? And the guy was like, nah, man, don't do it. And the guy really thought about it, and he changed his mind. So
Eric agrees in the comments said, what do y'all know or anybody familiar with false flags? Meaning basically what she says is grabbing your attention, which is something these Europeans feed off of. It happens every year. It's so predictable. They hit y'all with 2 this year back to back already. So you know anything about what false flag things?
Could you be a little more specific about the false flags,
I mean,
Erica?
we can have a call-in
Yeah,
line
can she
open.
call in?
Yeah, call in about it. I'm gonna finish this story about my brother because it was about guns. So,
Go ahead.
well, after that situation, my brother called my dad. He's in his 20s. He called my dad and asked him, told him he came up to Detroit and said, "I need a gun." And so he said, "These guys, these locals, they're riffraff. They not messing with us. I mean, they're messing with us in the most incorrect way. So we need. I feel like I need protection." My dad told him. He said, "No." He said, "That's not how you're gonna win. So you want to get in a gun war with them? You need to be down there trying to finish school and graduate. What you need to do is not even be
In that situation.
Exactly, not be in that situation." But he said he was not going to buy him a gun. And my dad, I want to say I don't think he goes many places without his gun. And for him to, it was very interesting for him to have that perspective. Now, he taught me, my mom, and I'm assuming, I don't know if he taught my brother how to shoot, but he taught me and my mom how to shoot. Like, he made us these targets and stuff one time. We'll go to Alabama, and he'll wake us up and have us shoot the gun, shoot pop cans. But for him to say that he wouldn't even buy his 20-something-year-old son a gun at that time, it speaks volumes.
I think he would. Okay, so I do security from time to time. I do security without a gun. If anything happens, if my two hands can't get me out of it, I shouldn't be there. When you have that gun, it gives you a certain amount of power, and it gives you a false sense of power. So him giving his son that gun in that moment of anger is him basically saying, "Okay, if them dudes mess with you again,
in your
go
life
do
or
it."
in there. Yeah.
In theirs because and it's really in your life because situations that most people use guns,
Your life
the
is over
law
too.
isn't on their side.
Okay.
And a lot of people don't understand that. Like I tell people all the time, don't get no pretty gun. Because when you shoot somebody, police have that gun until that case is over. Don't get a pretty gun. Get a gun that works. Get a gun that's functional. Get a gun that's reasonably priced. But don't spend $5,000 on the gun. Because police will take that gun and it'll be in lockup for 4 or 5 years until that case is over. But when you have that gun, like I do security, and one of the things, don't touch anybody. Once you touch somebody, you can't take that back. That's when situations happen. Getting that gun because the locals are messing with the football players, like Pop said, don't put yourself in a situation where you would have to use a gun or you would have to need a gun.
Number one.
If you staying away, look, go play football, go get them grades, get back up here.
And
Number one rule is get back home.
Telling somebody that means that they have to change their life at some point. And a lot of people, that's kind of complicated. And but to this day, my brother says he's glad that my dad did not buy that gun for him.
Oh, he would have
said
blew somebody's
he's
brains
so
out.
glad.
He would have blew somebody's brains out all over Door Avenue.
So
Because we would have had an Oxford High School, the Black Edition.
That part.
okay. So Erica, don't forget, give us a ring. Well, that's for the Oxford situation. There's been tons of weird ass gun situations that went on last week.
But I want to last week. How about since August? There's been 21 school shootings in this country. Okay, but you only heard about a few, maybe just this one. Why? I believe because this one happened to the closest to the blackest city in America, and that's the reason why they're spinning. Even how I don't know how the narrative got to the point where the parents decided to escape and hide in Detroit.
Man,
in
east side, right?
On the east side.
Was it over here?
Dumb as shit.
Like it was like somebody told them, one of their friends, like, you know what? The police will never find you in Detroit. They never find.
That's
you.
what had to happen.
And we know. So what they did was they took the money. They both took $2,000 out of their account and they fled. And that's how they was on the run, right?
Where were they going to go?
They was communicating with their lawyer. They had one of their homeboys got a building. Where can we go and hide at and figure out what we can do with the lawyer, and talk this out. You know what I mean? So they went and got the money, and they went and hid in the building, a mutual spot where they can meet the lawyer. But in the midst of, the DPD was actually on their shit enough to spot the car. And then a massive manhunt went on the east side until they found them crouched up in the damn basement of an abandoned warehouse.
Yeah, I'm going to help some of y'all out. When the police are looking for you, they have ways to find you that we don't even know about. I have people that are close in police, and they won't tell me the ways. But when they want to find somebody hard enough, they gonna look for them. Them people coming down to Detroit was the wrong east side of Detroit. I'm gonna get dragged for saying this. If I see 2 white people on the east side of Detroit at nighttime, either they are here to buy property or they're here to buy drugs. One of the two.
Or over here trying to sneak a
In the
link.
middle, well, here's the thing, right?
In the middle of the night, they're not buying property.
If you see them in the middle of the night, they might be buying drugs, right?
Yeah.
If you see them in the daytime, they might be buying property, but they might be buying drugs still.
Yeah, it's only two. And for them to be, the thing is, once we find out, we all sitting there, we know what they look like. And then they put out a $10,000
Then
reward
they might be
for
buying
each
drugs
of them.
and property. You never know. They might be.
So if they had come knocked on y'all's door, what would y'all say? Like, what would y'all do? Would y'all roll with it and be like, oh yeah, and then turn?
Them?
Yeah, if the Crumblies came to y'all door.
All right, come on. I got to hide in the basement. Go hide in the basement, right?
Yeah.
Go upstairs, right? Go upstairs, right? 911. Look, I got them motherfuckers in the basement right now. They on 7 Mile and
That's
West
it.
Night. They right here.
That's it.
The Crumblies? Oh yeah, they get
I'm
out
not
of
turning
here.
them
I
away.
tie them motherfuckers up so fast. Let's play a game. All
Come here,
right.
my
Would
clear
you like to
brothers
play a
and sisters.
game?
You said what?
Come here, my clear brother and sister.
Come on, brother, sister. Come
The
on.
revolution
y'all here.
needs you.
I would have to negotiate with the police.
The revolution will be live. I'll go live on Facebook with them in the basement. Like, yeah, so what are y'all, why are y'all here? Like, y'all hiding nothing? Like,
Y'all bought the gun?
did y'all buy the gun? Why, you know what I mean? Why are y'all running right now? And then y'all took $2,000 each out of the bank account and fled, like, and now y'all in my basement, live on 7 Mile Radio. Who'd have thought?
First off, you
Who'd have
owe me.
thought?
I would have said it. I would have said it just like that. I would have been.
Who'd have thought?
I would have said it just like that.
Mic check. And
Who'd have thought?
run me 5 too. Run me about 500 too. And definitely I would have been negotiating with the cops. You're going to have to give me a little bit more than 10
Oh, the
racks, or I'm
advertising
letting
for
them
that
go.
would have been gold.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah.
they got found on the east side of Detroit, and I loved your Christmas card. Merry Christmas from the Crumblies.
Oh yeah, you seen that? Yeah.
That's the funniest thing I've probably seen in this last quarter of the year. Okay, so along with other weird gun violence, so I don't know if y'all can see this. It was this one.
Oh. A 14-year-old girl was shot and killed by her brother who was making and selling guns, Georgia sheriff says.
So this young man was making guns, and he had a sale. The sale comes over, and it goes wrong. I guess the sale tried to short him.
Was he 3D printing them or something?
Yeah, well, ghost guns, you get them part by part.
Oh, ghost gun.
Yeah.
He was manufacturing and selling his so-called ghost guns. He's been arrested after he allegedly shot and killed his 14-year-old sister with one of his own homemade firearms, according to Douglas County, Georgia Sheriff's Office. 2 people came to the family's home in Douglasville, about 20 miles west of Atlanta, on November, purchased the gun that a 13-year-old made. Instead of buying the firearm, the pair stole the gun from the 13-year-old, fled the scene. The sheriff told reporters the boy shot at them as they were leaving, but instead he struck his 14-year-old sister, who was identified by the sheriff's office as Kyra Scott. Rest in peace, Kyra Scott. The weapon he used is one that he made. So you're making weapons and you can't shoot.
Okay, first off, him making weapons. Let me tell you guys a secret. Making weapons or selling accessories to weapons is a federal
thing.
felony. What we have going on in the hood right now is people selling what we call a switch, Glock switch, that will change your gun from a semi-automatic to fully automatic, where you push that damn trigger one time and it's going. That's it. It will clear the clip.
Now,
The
how
feds
many is
will
in the
lock you
clip?
up, depending on the Glock.
Okay.
But the feds will lock you up under the federal prison for that. The ATF will be at your door, and it's not going to be pretty at all. So if you are into that, think of other ways to get out of it. McDonald's is hiring. What did Biggie say? Don't be mad. UPS is hiring. Think of something else, because that's not the route that you want to go.
Selling guns. We don't need more guns, and you don't need to make
Guns
them
and
either.
gun parts. Okay, so I'll say this: it's never that we don't need more guns. We don't need more irresponsible people with guns.
There we go. This is a 13-year-old kid. Here we go. That's my main thing here.
Yeah.
These children don't need these guns, and
need more irresponsible gun owners.
There we go.
my dad, one of his points was these people who bought the gun for their kid, and even this little 13-year-old, his parents that are allowing him to even make these, because come on, you got to know your kid's making guns. So they're breeding their children to hate. They have hate in their hearts, just like they want their kids to have hate just like them. They're breeding them to be like them. I mean, for what other reason would you let your kid dabble and dangle with this mess?
Okay, so I'll help you out with this one. As far as making the guns, sometimes stuff can slip under the radar.
Kids could be in their rooms doing weird stuff.
Doing crazy weird
I
stuff.
had mannequins. I was doing hair in my room, but...
Yeah, like, we didn't have locks on our room, for sure. So it wasn't no weird stuff. We actually kind of kept our room door up. The only time we closed our room was when it was, you know, you changing from the bath for the shower, bedtime, whatever. But it wasn't no locks on our rooms growing up.
We're going to get to your story, to what you said, Miranda. I like... Because that pulls in time.
Miranda said I can't read.
Well, you made a point earlier about the power that people think they have when they have guns, or the sense of power. She made a comment. She said Lil Wayne allegedly pulled his gun on a security because he had pics of him that he felt the guy would leak, allegedly. So that ties into the point you made, where when someone has a gun in their hand, you know, they take things to a level that they shouldn't really.
Yeah,
they don't need to.
Stupid power, because it's like you shoot this person. What happens next?
Yeah.
Like, we don't look past our nose when we have that amount of power on us.
Well, people see, I truly believe that these kids grew up in an era where they saw the police doing a lot of that shit. And they saw not many consequences happening to people in places of authority that were doing these things. So they feel like, what's the worst that can happen to me?
It's
a little white kid. What's the worst that can happen to me?
Because it's adult. We just had a situation, last week? Some girl shot at somebody because she thought that they took pictures of her peeing. She was outside of a liquor store. She thought they took pictures of her peeing. She pulled out her pistol and shot like 5-6 times. Like what? Like,
that was me. That was me.
You do pee outside a lot. If you did hit that person,
Marci Pissafeed.
If you did hit that person, what happens next?
Yeah.
What happens next?
And why aren't you thinking about that beforehand?
Yeah, and I tell people a lot of time, like, once you pull that gun, you have to use it, and you have to use it. Don't pull it out to scare anybody. Don't pull it. I just want to hurt them. No, you pull that gun out, it's not for play.
Now, my family is from Alabama, and you know, my little cousins were getting guns. You know, little shotguns, or maybe a BB gun. You know, maybe a BB gun at a certain age. But I think at a certain age they did, you know, get shotguns. But they didn't see their parents using those guns other than probably shooting no malicious reason at all. Yeah, and they were trained properly, and you know, I never even really seen them with it. I just knew they had it, you know?
Yeah, like, thing that we always said, like, folks down south, they handle guns a lot different than we do up here in the city.
Which is why they're so hell-bent on the gun laws, because, I mean, first of all, they spaced out. If the next house is damn 2 acres away,
2
shit,
acres.
you know that somebody banging on your shit is, it is weird, because you ran 2 acres over here to bang on my door.
You know, an acre is like a area of space and not a distance.
Play the button,
What
Mark.
school did you go to?
So
2 acres.
it's still
2.5 acres.
It's still okay. An area length times width. I understand that.
An acre can still be space.
It can be distant too. We have a phone call.
Ooh,
We do have a caller. Who is this and where you calling from?
Perfect timing.
It's Truth. How are you, Mom?
How are you? How are you, Truth?
Hey, Truth.
I'm good. Hey, you guys.
Hey, where you calling from?
I'm in the D.
Okay, the D. All right. Shout out to you.
About the remark, you know, my comment, but I'm a step off of that right quick.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are now talking about guns and, you know, I guess a little bit of law with it, a little bit.
Slightly, yeah. Only what we know.
Yeah, right. There you go. So I don't know if you guys are with the taking the shot or not. However, you do know with taking a shot, and this is written, this is law, this is within their standards and everything or whatever, which is kind of hidden if you don't know where to go and look for it. But they speak on, if you have taken a shot, they have a right to come and take your gun away from you and everything if you did take the shot.
What are you talking about? What shot are you talking? You talking about a gunshot or
The COVID.
The COVID.
Oh, the shot. Okay.
There you go. I didn't want to say the word.
All right, because they have a habit of shutting me down.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's why I said the C-19.
Okay.
Just leave that like that. But do you guys are you aware of that? Like,
I am not
you know,
aware
you
of
have
that.
taken the shot that they can
look that up?
come and take your rights.
Can you link that for us?
Hey,
Can you send us a link to that? That's astonishing to hear, and it sounds
I can't.
wild.
I'll give you the word. It sounds unbelievable.
It sounds unbelievable. Sounds incredible. Can you? Where'd you hear that from?
No, I mean, I'll send you the link. It's not a. I mean, it's within. Maybe actually, I could tell you exactly. Probably, not probably. There's a fact, like on the CDC, their website.
Okay.
It's written in there.
CDC.
It's written just as well as they had the whole ordeal about, hey, if there's an apocalypse on if there's zombie attacks, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of written in such a way, but they
said that in case there's an apocalypse or a zombie attack, they're gonna take our guns, or they're gonna make sure we have them.
Well, that, and if there is an apocalypse, they're telling you on ways to handle these issues. Like
the CDC, the CDC, they're
on the CDC website. They speak about a zombie apocalypse. So
thank you.
Oh, yeah,
Thank you for that information.
I mean, you know,
yeah, they definitely speak of a zombie apocalypse.
CDC website.
Yeah.
So listen. My thing is,
are you prepared for?
Why are they talking about that? Why? That's all I'm asking. Why are they talking about that?
I was going to ask you the exact same thing.
If and when?
Are you talking about a zombie apocalypse? They're talking about it because
they're setting it up. That's
the
why.
CDC has to be able to, like, look ahead. The CDC has to be proactive instead of reactive as far as diseases go. A lot of diseases.
To inform the public, right? Just as well as they do many things in movies.
This is
to
on.
Tell you what's going on because they don't want that karmatic shit coming on them. So they have to let you know.
Nah, they ain't got it. The government has to do
we,
nothing. The government has to protect their best interests. And I hate to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but the government has to protect their best
Are y'all
interests.
saying this is on the CDC website?
Yeah, they have a zombie apocalypse. They have a zombie apocalypse.
You're making my point exactly. So what they're saying is, what we're doing to you, we have to make it public, right? So do you get that part?
Just in case. They're saying just in case, huh?
Yeah, well,
to cover their ass. You know
I
how
get what you're saying, but guess what? And not to.
I'm not saying nothing because I don't really know. Y'all know more about it than me.
Just in case, they're doing it. They're doing it right now, like everything.
Just so you say, just in case shit goes down. Because
yeah, I mean, what? Not a just in case. It's just
when shit goes down because of.
It's almost like picture this. I'm gonna back you up, Truth, a little bit, right?
Okay.
When 9/11 happened, right?
Right.
Maybe I want to say
again, they done it.
Yeah, but I'm just batting this. Hold on, right quick, right? So when 9/11 happened, right?
CDC calling us now.
No, that CDC calling us right now.
No, that was my phone. That was Facebook had loaded up a video. When 9/11 happened,
sure, if you
right?
got the CDC on us.
Maybe about a year or so, maybe give or take a few months, a year before that happened. There was a big ass insurance policy taken out on the World Trade Center buildings,
exactly.
And they included that if planes were to crash into the building, that was covered on the insurance policy.
Which is likely.
And then a year later,
that's likely. That's
okay,
very likely.
but what I'm saying is, right?
Exactly.
It's like they it was the precursor. They set up. It was the alley-oop. They alley-ooped themselves.
It's let me top my ass before it happened.
Your phone broke up. What you say? Your phone broke up.
She said it's letting me cover. She said it's like let me cover my ass.
Oh yeah, cover your ass. Yeah.
Which is, I think that's what all policies say, right? Like policies cover their ass, right?
But see, the thing about it is, they know
when it's purposely done.
They know. Okay, well here's
you're saying it's a coincidence that it's too right on. What I'm saying is,
you hit the nail on the head. When I said the World Trade Center, you said, what did you say? Because that's likely to happen.
Well, so for them, planes fly in the air.
Okay, so for them to put that in the clause, that means
literally,
they know that it's likely to happen.
Exactly.
Because planes fly in the air.
Speaking on, hey,
okay,
just
so
in case of not saying,
the show getting interrupted. They
not a
that's
car
your
ran
phone.
into
Go ahead.
me.
Oh, okay. I'm listening.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
go ahead.
Not a car, just like you were saying, Mark. Not literally. Hey, it was just a car. You know, that's car insurance. Blah blah blah. Why would you be on plane? How did you just know?
You're breaking up. You're breaking up.
You're breaking up, Truth. Hey,
your
true,
contract.
true. Take it off speakerphone, sweetheart. You know, no speakerphone, no Bluetooth. Your phone breaking up real bad.
Yeah.
No, you're not on speaker. Hold on, let me move a little closer.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me better now?
No.
Okay, so again, Mark, like you were saying, literally speaking on exactly what happened. How do I know exactly that a plane is going to hit? Why would I just implement that? That's like, hey, I took out an insurance policy and literally, well, let's say my spouse is literally going to die from a heart attack. Not a car accident, not randomly being hit by a fucking bus.
Depends
or
on their.
anything like.
I guess it depends on their age and weight and race and eating habits.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
they had the World Trade Center. Like I said, it was a year before it happened. How old has the World Trade Center been? It's been probable that the planes can hit the building for a long ass time, and then a year before it happened, and they go out. That's just like kind of like what
one
she's
year,
about to say.
like why 1 year? Like why 1 year?
Right before it happened, y'all call it.
Happen.
So that's like you get
I'm about to
married,
tell
you
you
get
what's
married,
gonna
and you
happen.
take an insurance policy out on your husband and say, well, if he dies by gunfire, then I get $1 million, and then you set him up to die by
Exactly.
gunfire.
Well, what's his job? Where does he work? What's his
You
job?
set
What's
him
his
up to
job?
die-
Is he a cop? Maybe. I don't know. What were you about to say, True? Though, what were you about to say?
No, but guess what? Just like you just said. Now watch this, Mama. Just saying. Listen, I
Yes,
am
daughter.
actively. I'm being proactive in something. It's gonna happen. Right?
Wait, you
Your
breaking
phone
up?
jamming up again.
Dang.
The people don't want her to talk. The powers that be don't want her to be heard.
True.
Okay. How about this?
There we go.
Are we better now?
We
Yes.
better.
Okay. So just like Mark was saying, how am I so proactive in my thinking to know exactly, like, hey, there's going to be some planes, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm literally telling you what's going to happen a year before.
It is very
That's
interesting
crazy.
that it's only 1 year. That's very interesting that was written just 1 year before. That is, because why just
Yeah,
1
it's
year?
not
Why
a
wouldn't that already be?
coincidence.
Yeah. I'll definitely
It's not a coincidence.
definitely agree with that. Why
Okay.
is it just 1 year? But a lot of shit in government's not a coincidence, and we'll probably never know everything. But I definitely am interested.
No, but we do know. See, listen, you have to scratch out.
We don't know
that-
everything.
You got to stop giving them
Telling
the
you the
benefit
truth.
of the doubt, Marcy. Because that's what you're doing. Because it's like even when we said that, you're like, well,
No, I said we don't know everything.
It's possible because the planes, it could hit the building.
I don't
No,
trust
they
them
don't.
enough to get a benefit of doubt all the time. It's not the benefit of the doubt. It's about how far are we going to take conspiracies and what are our sources? That's all I'm saying.
So we could say,
And there are things, and if our points cannot be refuted by things like what I'm saying.
Well, they did say that we were the Tower Building 7. He did just say, well, we just decided to pull it. How the fuck do you just decide to pull it, right? Pull it.
And then-
Pull it
and
is a
guess how
construction
many
term
monies
for
were
bringing the building down as a
missing, things of
demolition
this
term.
nature, monies
Who-
were
who said
missing,
that?
et
The
cetera,
owner,
and
it's about
just
to-
so
I don't even know
before
that.
They wanted to claim bankrupt and say, hey, we were missing X, Y, and Z amount of millions and billions of trillions of dollars. Hey, yeah. Let me tell you. Let me tell you ahead of time.
Building
They
7.
were beefing.
A day
We know they were
before.
beefing with Osama and them, and then
Listen,
they pissed
buildings-
them off and they blew us up. We know that.
As far as proving this conspiracy about the government having something to do with it, if they can do it this one time, then we should give them the benefit of being able to do it all the time.
They've
right?
been doing it for decades, centuries.
It was 3 buildings that went down. 2 got hit by planes. 3 went down. That's what I was talking about. Building 7. He said
Exactly.
it was a small fire in the top of the building. And on the interview, and I'll send you the link, Marcy, the owner of the World Trade Center, the one who signed the insurance policy, said, you know what, we had after the first 2 towers fell and Building 7 was so heavily damaged from the fire, one room in the fire, in a big ass building, he said, we just decided to pull it. And the building fell down in a demolition style and it's like, how can you just decide to pull
Mark.
it?
And that does not
Watch
that
it,
doesn't
watch it.
begin
Guess
where this
what?
it was
And
bullshit.
guess
It was
what? How
bullshit
it
when they
went
got on the
down.
plane. The fact that doesn't begin where this whole thing started stinking like bullshit. It started stinking like bullshit when they were able to even get on the plane and let this happen. Everything that all the logistics, all those details. It's so many details inside. The fact I'll give you this. The fact that they even got on the plane and got that far already shows you that it's shit in the game. We don't even need all that
And guess
extra
what
shit.
they
We already
talking
know
about?
that.
A box cutter.
And-
You think a motherfucker could run up on you with a box
These
cutter?
details like that make it already suspicious enough. All that extra stuff just makes it more interesting. But the
No,
bullshit stunk when they
Listen, it
even
was
were able to get through
demolished.
the airport. But
it was demolished. Ain't no fucking plane hit nothing. That's Blue Beam Project. Look up Blue Beam Project.
I heard about the beams.
It can project things to you on the screen as far as TV, television, tell lies to the vision. Listen,
I really appreciate.
I don't care who was down there and who lied. You got false actors. You got all these people. Like
it's a lot of it's a lot of bullshitters down there. It's a lot of bullshit in the game. A lot of bullshit in the game.
That
even in the smallest, of details.
That was nothing that happened from no plane.
Even in the smallest of details, it's bullshit. It's but we know that. We know it's very unfortunate. I feel bad for all the families who were affected by that because there were some really phenomenal first responders and people in it. And I still to this day watch documentaries about it. And the government and whoever was behind it, they're gonna go straight to hell about it. I really appreciate your phone call and your insight, and I really hope that you tune in.
No doubt. Always. You guys are doing a great job. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right, no doubt.
Good night, girl. Okay, we got 10 minutes left. Ooh, that was a roller coaster.
It was.
And I loved it. And when did that start? Where did that start from? She was talking about them coming in the house taking guns because she was related to the shot, and we have to do research on that to see exactly what angle she's coming from. So, thank you again for calling. We're gonna wrap this up with the weirdest of everything that's been happening while I was in Facebook jail. The weirdest of the weird. Okay, a Detroit woman. You probably can't see. I should have sent this picture to Mark, but I did not. And this lady, she kidnapped 4 Detroit children on their way to school. On their way to school, she pulls up on them and tells them that she pulls up on a 7, a 5-year-old, an 11-year-old boy, and an 8-year-old girl. She tells them, "I'm going to take you to school." The youngest begins to get in her van. That she later on admits was a stolen van. And the oldest decides to pull her back, but the youngest pulled one of them back. The youngest had already got in the van. Then she got out the van and she pushes them in the van. She gets caught because she's running a red light. She's over on Grand River and Evergreen. Mm-hmm. She gets caught because she's running a red light and the cops notice her behavior. She's frantic and weird acting, fidgety. And they ask her, are these your kids? And she says, yes. They look back at the kids. The kids are crying. They ask her.
And black.
And they are black, all black children.
Yeah.
They see the kids are crying, and they ask the kids, do you know this lady? And they all shake their head. No, this lady is caught. Now, I am just heartbroken because how many times has she done this already? And what was she about to do with those kids? Her track record is kind of long.
This is what y'all got to understand too, right? Because there are 2 events that happen in the city of Detroit that are hubs for trafficking.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 big events that happen every year in the city of Detroit.
You got the
it's coming up.
auto show.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I heard about that.
What else happens that's big?
That's the wintertime one. I'll give you a clue. It's in the summer.
State Fair? State?
International audience. Think international audience.
Oh, gross. Oh, my God.
I know it's the auto show is one.
Auto show is definitely one.
Okay, see, here's the crazy thing.
These kids were walking to school.
The Grand Prix.
Boom. That's it. Okay, so check it out. I have someone who works with the Detroit Police Department, and their main job is to be part of a team that deals with sex trafficking and child endangerment. Mm-hmm. And that's how I know that those times are definitely like, anytime it's a big event with a lot of people, it's literally people that fly in because Detroit is a hub for that. Mm-hmm. So it's like human trafficking is literally human trafficking. People,
children been missing all year. Young ladies been missing all year. Ugh. This lady.
So she was going to sell those kids for sure.
She was definitely going to sell those children. She's been charged with 4 counts of kidnapping, child enticement, 4 counts of unlawful imprisonment, 1 count of unlawfully driving away in an automobile, and 1 count of receiving and concealing a stolen motor vehicle. She has a lengthy criminal history, including multiple retail frauds, multiple failure to appear warrants, a drug conviction. She was discharged from parole in April after leaving the scene of a deadly crash in which she was at fault. So this is a murderous, money-hungry. Yes, she would sell some kids in a heartbeat. It's in her. You can see
So,
it. She
check
would
this
sell
out.
some kids.
One of those charges you read off was receiving a stolen vehicle.
It was receiving and concealing a stolen vehicle.
So check it out.
Wow.
This is what's gonna happen to the person that ended up giving her that vehicle. They gonna get so much time because it's connected to a crime. Like that's why, like you don't do crime, and if you do crime, do it all by your lonely because the stuff that connects you to other crimes can cook you.
Or how about this? Don't
you.
do crimes. How about that? How about
I mean,
that?
we can all say don't do crime. We all do a little bit of crime.
But yeah, I get what you're saying. If you're gonna do it,
Make it so that
have control over it so that you have control over it.
If you're gonna take cigarettes from another state, you know that's not hurting nobody but the tax people. You know, I'm not encouraging it, but do victimless crimes.
She's been arraigned Friday in the 36th District Court and
She's
is
gonna get cooked.
being held on a $5 million bond. She's not allowed to have contact with the victims and must wear a GPS tether and remain on house arrest if released. She admit to not knowing these kids from nowhere. So I don't know why they have to detail if she's not allowed to be in touch with them. She wasn't until that moment anyway.
So this is why they're saying, hey, don't be in touch with them. They don't know what connections this woman has, and they have the kids' names out there, blah blah blah. Her being in connection could be somebody representing her. So hey, I know the kids go to this school. Well, hey, tell the kids to when court comes, just tell them that I didn't hurt them, or I didn't do this, or I didn't do that. That's adding to the trauma of the children.
Extort them in any way where it's like you threatening them on testifying. Just don't testify or else.
Yeah, that stuff. Like literally, like
they're just letting the public know that she doesn't have any contact with them. Okay.
Yeah, and that should always be with anything dealing with kids, and because children are moldable and they're scared. Like a lot of times when children are abused, they don't say anything for years because somebody puts the fear of death or I'm gonna hurt your mama.
The person is usually still around somehow too.
Oh,
involved maybe in a family. She definitely pleaded not guilty. This girl's insane. Erica made a comment. She said, it's still popping off, trafficking, but hey, look over here at this fake-ass trial. They grab your attention and the people go for it. Which trial are you talking about? And then she said, he's absolutely right. During the car shows, etc., at Kobo, things have been here in the city is the biggest deal with kidnappings and trafficking. And it's so crazy how trafficking didn't really hit the spotlight until like 5-6 years ago. I didn't realize it.
And I say that, well, yeah, it hit the spotlight. It was always going on. It was always under the radar, right?
Because I think the big wigs were involved in it so much. They keep their shit under wraps too well.
And then we live in more of the information age now where more information is getting out and spreading and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But I brought up that whole situation about bringing up the two events in the city where that's going on is because the auto show was coming up, right?
She was gonna save them things.
And these were, harboring the kids and taking them somewhere where they can be held until these big investors from out of the country, out of the city, out of the state would come in and be able to purchase them. Just collecting the kids.
Because you could put a kid you could put 30 kids in a shipping container, and ship them off. Yeah. And that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, and they do all kind of stuff. It's not even just sex. People think it's just sex. No, they want their organs.
See, it's a lot of shit that goes on in the city that people don't know about. It's been going on for years. Like, did you know about do y'all know about the Schwitz?
Tell us.
The Schwitz.
No, I want to know about the Schwitz. What's the Schwitz?
The Schwitz.
What's the Schwitz shit?
The Schwitz. The shits with the Schwitz.
The shits with the Schwitz.
Let me tell you the shits with the Schwitz.
Swiftly tell me the shits with the Schwitz.
If you Google the...
I'll wipe these mics off after this. Right. I made sure I said it.
Gotta fucking vaccinate the mics so we get the thing. If you Google the Schwitz, right, it's gonna tell you that it is a...
Oh, Ricky, oh!
No. See, we didn't see.
No, that was the weed smoke.
Oh shit! All right. So yeah, the Schwitz. If you Google it, it's gonna tell you that it's a health club.
A health club?
Okay.
It's in Detroit.
Yes, it's in Detroit. Okay, Google it. Right, it's right on. Let me see what street it's on. Oakland. It's on Oakland Avenue, right?
Oh, over there by the Focus Home.
And it's been around since maybe the 1920s. Okay, and what it is I guess you can call it an underground sex club, swingers club, where it's like membership where they go in and just it's just all kinds of freaky sexual
debauchery.
shit.
Okay.
All kind of debauchery. Yeah. Marci, you might like it in there. Marci.
Yeah, you hear the okay.
Yeah,
stuff
okay.
I might go
She
watch.
Google the sweet,
I might go watch.
Yeah.
There was a club in Maryland called Taboo, and I kept getting invited, but I never went. You had to be like invited and like go with a couple, or like men couldn't just go. Women could go though, but nope, I never ended up going. Maybe I'll go. Maybe I'll get with the fit shit.
You weren't turtle-y enough for the Turtle Club.
No, I was still in the shell. Still in the shell. But no, what they be doing in there?
They be schwitzing around.
And it's trafficking hot
But
spot?
I wouldn't say a hot spot for trafficking, but it's just an example of some underground sex shit that's going on in the city that nobody knows about. It's been going on since the 20s, and it's a building, right? The building is right there in the open. You walk past, you probably don't know what it is type shit, because it's a membership, like members only type shit.
That's how it was in Maryland. You have to pay a membership.
Like, so it's just like, and then to go in and just, it's a lot of, Europeans in there just naked, walking around, just exhibition. It's just a room of people just fucking. You can watch them or you can join, and it's like,
How many times have you been?
I'm about to say, this is only what I've heard. I've never been one. I've never been not one
I ain't
time.
never been either.
It's called Spitz, and it's in
SCH
it's a social club.
VITZ Schwitz.
Okay.
German.
Okay.
I don't want to be
And
there. No.
it's probably low key, and people probably have to get invited, and they probably paid a lot of money to keep it open and all that.
And to keep it secret,
stuff.
it's a secret society for sure.
I want to do something like that, but not like that.
Exactly what it is. It's a secret society. All they ask is trust, that you don't tell that they and their fucking kids.
Ooh. Slim line between them and some churches.
Ooh.
All right. So I thank everyone for tuning in today. Today was a delightful episode. Thank you for calling in. Truth, Erica said bathhouses. You're right, Erica.
Basically,
like in those massage parlors it's a massage parlor near my house that I know for sure. There's no reason y'all open at 1 and 2 in the morning. Why is the car out there? Y'all are doing it.
They provide
doing it well.
Providing happy endings.
Doing it well.
And doing it well on 8 Mile.
LL Cool J.
So, thank you again, everybody who tuned in. Demetrius, you're late. You're late, Demetrius.
Demetrius who?
Demetrius Jackson.
Oh, thanks, Demetrius.
Good night, everybody.
Rewind it and watch it, Demetrius.
See you next Monday at 8-ish. 8.
Yeah, you
Good night,
folks.
folks.
Here on time.
Marci.
Warning. You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio.